Hello, guys. How are you? My mom's. I am working. I should be doing reels. That's why I wore this like leopard type of outfit because I thought it'd be fun to do reels in. But you get so sucked into like TikTok and Facebook and answering people and just thinking of new ideas because I just feel so, excited about what's going on in my life. And when you feel excitement, you raise your vibrations, your intentions, and you start moving forward. So I've got a lot of exciting things that are going on. And, it wasn't always like this way. A lot of times when the kids left and as I started going through midlife, it was just really, really hard because I used to just be the victim. I used to sit there and be like, the kids are growing up. What am I going to do? My husband is working. Woe is me. I have friends, but I really don't connect. Or everybody's moving on with their life, and I'm still here drinking my tea, cooking, cleaning, and all of that. And then I realized that there are so many other things in life that we need to look at. We can't just look at the negative things. We need to look at positive things. And once you just get that in your head and you switch, you start looking about at positive things. You start becoming aware. You start creating routine and habits. And it's just so wonderful. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Uzma, and I am a yoga and meditation teacher. And I also create courses and help empty nester moms create calm and contentment in their life as they're looking for their purpose and they're transitioning into a beautiful new season. So many times, moms are transitioning, and that transition is difficult because they are looking at the past. They miss their kids, they miss the rides, they miss the daily routines, they just miss the sameness that they used to have because for so many years that's what you've been doing and that's what your identity is. And so I help moms keep that identity but also change their identity at the same time, keeping their identity as a mom, because you never lose who you are as a mom and you never stop being a mom, to changing your identity to a mom of grown kids who is confident, who is strong, who has positivity in their life, and also is ready to move forward, find their purpose, know what they love, be strong, and be a mentor for their kids. So their kids look at them like, oh my God, that's amazing. And what happened to me was like once the kids left, I like had no habits or no routines. Who's gonna get up early? I don't have to take the kids. Who's going to have your meals on time? I can work out whenever. And what happened was I slowly got lazier and I slowly got um, not in routine. So I was eating all over the place. So I would eat when I was hungry. So I was eating sweets. I was eating the wrong things. And then I was sleeping later. So the day got longer, so everything was being put off. And I would say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I have time. Or I'll do it tomorrow. I'll have time. And I just never took action. And everything was getting later and later and later. And so I noticed I was feeling tired. I was unhappy. I was not in routine. And I was like, I need to do something. I need to change it. So I started having a morning routine, getting up earlier. I still don't get up at 5, 6 in the morning like I wish I could. If I was one of those people, it would like make my day. But no, 9 o'clock. If I have to, I'll get up earlier. But I've tried to make myself do it. And every time I do it, I'm tired. My body just doesn't adjust. So if jet lag happens and then I do, then it's great. But literally, I just try so hard. And then I realize, if my body is telling me no, and it's easier for me to start at 9 o'clock and be efficient and do anything, that's what I need to do. So I've really given up on that notion of me being a 5 o'clock in the morning person, but I still like to try sometimes. And so, I started a morning routine, writing in my journal, having my black coffee, um, walking around, grounding, doing what I need to do. And slowly the routine helped me accomplish more, feel happier. I was more energetic, more motivated, and which led me to other things and open doors, right? Which led me to more calmness, which led me to losing weight, which led me to being healthy, which led me to positive thoughts, which led me to having a better connection with my kids. And for me, that is my goal because I've raised them, we've been so connected, and for them to leave the house, and if I have no connection with them, it's kind of like, who am I? I feel sad that I invested so much in my kids and I have no connection. So this is why I started habits, I started routines, I started thinking about myself. Because if I am healthy and I have something to do with my life and I have motivation and I have that positive attitude, then I become a magnet towards my kids. I become a magnet towards other people. And that's when the relationship starts. So today I wanted to talk about habits and intentions. And I had this formula that I might have gotten it from somewhere else, but you know, like when you think about something and you have this formula and you're like thinking and thinking, and you're like, oh, where did this come from? Well, my formula is habits equals consistency, which equals action, which equals goals. So if you have a habit, you will start staying consistent, you will take action, and you will complete your goals. And I have this written down right here on my piece of paper. Habits, you can, I think I'm gonna like put a post or something because it's kind of really cool. Habits equals consistency, which equals actions, which equal goals. So if you've got your habits, you're gonna stay consistent, you're gonna take action, and you're gonna have your goals. So for those of you who are on, say hello. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. I'm Uzma from the Daily Dose. And if you have any replay people, then please hashtag replay. I love your feedback all the time. So habits are something that are really going to set you up for daily success. And in my 90-day reboot program, that's what we talk about. And that's what we work on for 90 days as well, to reboot yourself, because habits are going to help you stay consistent. Because if you don't have a habit, then you're just living in a whatever world. And there are people who say, oh, you know what? I just live through the day. I just live whatever. I just do whatever. And eventually that catches up with you. At least I think so, because when I was, with my not doing habits and everything, it caught up with me, with my mood, with my health, with everything that was routine. I became kind of antisocial too, because it was like if somebody invited me over, it was just like, oh my gosh, I have to get up this early. I have to get ready. I would be like canceling things. I wouldn't go things. So I became kind of like an introvert also because I didn't have the habits, because it was like, oh my gosh, they're calling me at 12. I get up at like 10:30, and how will I get ready in time and finish my morning routine? And it was just chaos. So really setting the habits and setting intentions along with that helped me progress and helped me also with creating the life that I want to create. Because so many of us, our kids leave and we're like, what's my purpose? Who am I? What am I? What should I do? I feel lost. I don't have anything to do. And that's because you don't have intentions. That's because you don't have habits. You're just living in this world of, you know, being a victim, looking back, wondering what, and you're concentrating on what you don't have and what you're not doing, rather than focusing on going forward and being motivated in what you want to do. Of course, we miss our kids. I miss my kids dearly. When they come and they leave, I cry every time. I miss them so much. But this is life, and this is what our success is: raising them to adults, to be going off and meeting them and coming them and meeting them and having them go, right? So we need to create habits for ourselves. And most of us have habits. We have habits, but we don't realize it because they're on autopilot, like brushing your teeth, washing your face, tying your shoelaces. These are all automatic habits. And we just do them and we do them. And some of them might even be like bad habits, like sitting on the toilet for an hour just because you're on your iPhone. I don't know if that's a good habit or not for you guys, but I consider that a bad habit. But so many of us have habits that we are on autopilot. And when you're on autopilot with your habits, you don't change them for better, so you improve for personal growth and moving forward, but you also don't change them if they're just, if you're sedentary, and it's fine. So the first thing to do is really become aware of your habits. If you're not aware of what your habits are, like what are your habits, right? What do you do? And are some of the habits good? Are some of the habits bad? Maybe you have a habit of brushing your teeth when you get up in the morning, but you don't brush your teeth at night. And that's just been a habit that you have, right? So it's really becoming aware of what your habits are and calling them out and making intentions, because sometimes we want to create new habits. I think having the habits that we have are old ones. It's really, really easy to just keep them. But what's really hard is when you start making new habits, because it's really hard to have those intentions and, keep on doing it. Because what happens is that habits and starting a new one is really hard because you have to think about it, right? You have to think about that glass of water that you have to drink. You have to think that workout, and then you have to make the effort and you have to make the action. But when your habits actually, you keep on doing it and you stay consistent and you take action, remember habits, consistency, action, and your goals, and you reach your goals, eventually your habits become, a daily way of life, right? Like I said, brushing your teeth, going to the bathroom, eating your avocado toast every morning. It's just such a routine in your life and becomes a habit that it doesn't feel like it's work anymore. So calling them out and making intentions. And when you want to make a new habit, when you want to make a new habit and you want to create something, the best thing to do is to state it with an intention, have a location, and have a time. So say like, you want to drink 8 glasses of water. Today at, 8 in the morning, I'm going to start drinking my 8 glasses of water. I'm going to have one every hour of the day. So you've stated your intention, you've set it out, and you're going to do it. So if an hour and a half goes by, you're like, oh my gosh, I stated this intention. Or I'm going to walk around the block at 6 o'clock every evening until I lose weight. And so somebody says at 5:30, hey, you want to go for lunch or you want to go for dinner? Your mind is already set with that intention, that time, and that location that you'll say, no, I have to walk because I have promised myself or I've stated that intention, right? What else could you do? Maybe you want to lose weight and you say, okay, I'm going to stop sugar on Mondays. I'll eat sugar the rest of the week because I always say, do your slowness. Cutting out sugar all at once, you're going to have cravings. It's not going to work. So Mondays, you cut out sugar. So you state every Monday, I'm not going to have sugar, but I will, watch my sugar, but I won't stop myself the rest of the week. And slowly you break down your weeks, but you've made your intention. When you make your intention, you set it in your mind, and then you have progress. And so then the next thing is to stay consistent because it's really hard. And what you have to think about is when you're trying to create a habit, the first week, the first 2 weeks, you're like gung ho, I can do this, I can do this. Just like we promise ourselves on July 1st that we can work out, right? So we just work out and we work out. And then we're like, oh, this is just too much. Number one is because you've overdone it. Number two is because you haven't thought about the process, right? And that's when you stop staying consistent, right? So you've got your habit, and habit equals consistency. And why does the consistency break? Because you haven't thought it through and your steps are too big. And also the other way to stay consistent is to know that when you are feeling like I can't go to the gym or this water is just too much, I can't drink my 8 glasses, you have to push through it because that is when the change and the transformation happens. When you feel stuck and it's just so hard and you just don't want to get in the car and you don't want to go to that gym or you don't want to drink that glass of water or do that thing that you want to do, the minute you say, oh, I can't do it, I'm done, that's when you lose the transformation. That's when you lose the consistency. And that's when you are never going to reach that goal. But when you say, God, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to drive to the gym. I'm going to work out. And you go to that gym that day, that's when your transformation begins because you have pushed yourself over that block of being stuck. So think about that. Whenever you resist something and you don't want to do it, you're stopping yourself from changing your life, changing your identity, moving forward in your goal. But if you push through it, whether it's good or bad, you come out the other side, learning, growing, whether it's a failure, mistake, whether it felt good or not, and you've just pushed through that path towards your goal. And so that's taking action. That's taking action when you're feeling stuck, when you're feeling blocked, taking that action, and then you reach your goal. So really, it's easier when you make your intention for habits. So I would love it if you guys posted below what is some habit that you're working on that is difficult for you and why. That would be really interesting to know. So that's it. I hope you start your habits, start your intentions, and I hope this helped. I'm Uzma from the Contentment Method. You can find me on Facebook. This weekend, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I'm going to be having a cooking class in my Facebook group if you guys are interested. And I also have the 90-day reboot program for empty nester moms who are trying to refill yourself with joy, happiness, peace, and whatever else you want. So that's it. After I do these long talks, then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I have to get off. I have to go. So then I like lose my train of thought because I want to say no, but I'm not going to give you more today. No. What I'm going to do is honestly come on again tomorrow and I'll give you a little bit tip on something else because I love giving these tips and I know from feedback that a lot of you enjoy it as well. So, okay, I gotta get off because I can keep on talking. But this was my tip today. Habits, intentions, post below what habits you're trying to create. And in my 90-day reboot camp, we talk about all this fun stuff. So talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye.